Hey guys, Justin Williams here with Holistic Self-Reliance, and today I want to talk to you about the very first principle of what Holistic Self-Reliance is all about, and that's iron sharpens iron. I want to be committed to uniting one another in wholeness. That's the key. There's so much division, so much strife, so much back and forth backbiting in the survival, bushcraft, wilderness living community that we're making fools of ourselves. And we have to stop and remind ourselves why it is we do what we do, why it is we do what we love. And that's being outdoors, being outside, and honing our skills and becoming better woodsmen, better survivalists, better preppers, better whatever you want to call yourself. But at the end of the day, it's going to come back to unity and wholeness. And not only unity as a community, but having wholeness and unity within yourself. But keeping that in mind today, and what my goal is through each of these videos is to share a little bit of bushcraft or survival skills, as well as correlating that to some scripture, some proverbs, some parables, some different principles and psalms. And my whole goal is not to alienate anybody and saying that you have to be a Christian to learn or gain insight from these principles, because as soon as I announced that I was going to be doing this holistic self-reliance and using scripture to help encourage people, I got some serious hate mail like, what are you? Don't you realize that you're a false prophet and that's a lie and there is no God? And here's the thing, is I don't care if you believe in God or not. I don't care if you are a pagan, if you're a Wiccan, if you're a Mormon, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, if you're a Christian. I really don't care. Here's what we have to unite ourselves in thought. If you're going to get anything out of this channel, is that there is a greater purpose in place and in store for each of our lives. And I truly believe it has to do with a creator, or in your case, a greater being. This isn't the channel I'm going to argue and debate politics or religion and doctrine. I really don't care about any of the BS of the faith, and I'm not meaning that BS. I'm meaning the belief systems. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about sharing encouragement and trying to take skills and correlate those to practical principles that we can apply to our lives, and that applies to you no matter what your faith or background. And so today, looking at knife sharpening, having a few principles that you need to understand when it comes to sharpening a knife. You need to have a sturdy, solid foundation. The same for your life. You got to have a sturdy, solid foundation. And then also, you need to keep in mind the type of blade that you're going to be sharpening. And I'm going to have a full video on how to sharpen these blades coming up on some of my other YouTube channels. I encourage you to check them out. But I just want to talk to you real quickly. Keep in mind that anytime you're working a blade on a stone, especially like this one, it needs to be perpendicular. You need to work it at the proper angle, hitting the proper bevel, and pushing, slicing the blade across the stone in a perpendicular manner. And so for this particular sharpening system, it actually gives there at the side, at the tip, to sharpen the tip. But if you don't have that, if you have a stationary system, I'll lock it into place. When you push perpendicular down the stone, at the very end, I typically lift up just a tad. And so I do about 15 strokes on each side, and then I'll flip it, do 15 strokes, and I'll start off with a coarse. If my blade's really dull, go to a medium, and then a fine, and then I'll strop it at the very end, usually using my belt. But once you do 15 on each side, then I will go and alternate 15 back and forth. So this would be 1 and 1, 2 and 2. Another key thing is don't ever let the blade leave the stone. That's going to help you be more accurate and get a more consistent knife blade edge. And so the scripture today comes from Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 17, and it's really the theme of what holistic self-reliance is about. As iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. So I want to encourage you, share my channel, get out there, subscribe, if you're interested in being a part of the Holistic Self-Reliance movement and you want to be able to put out some, devotionals or encouraging, videos on skill set and some type of scripture, or I don't even care if you pull it from scripture. You can pull up an awesome quote from John Muir or any of our famous people that have gone before us, and you want to correlate that to a skill, let me know. I'd love to tie you in, make you be a part of the Holistic Self-Reliance movement, and let's begin to encourage, challenge one another, and sharpen one another. So as iron sharpens iron, get out there, encourage someone, pour into somebody, and share some skills. Thanks again for tuning in, Holistic Self-Reliance. Until next time, I encourage you guys to keep it practical, primitive, and prepared.